Welcome to the new stuff for Flow Network Security Service Insertion as part of the NCI 7.3 release. Now, Flow Network Security has added service insertion so you can enhance security with Nutanix partners. This offers built-in high availability, simplified operations, and it's all delivered through Flow Network Security rules with our partner appliances such as firewall VMs from Palo Alto Networks and others. You can think of Flow Network Security providing some of the core functionality for rerouting and directing internal traffic, and then the partner appliances will perform these advanced operations like intrusion prevention, Layer 7 classification and filtering, as well as SSL inspection and additional malware prevention features. So how does the service insertion in NCI 7.3 work? So this is a layer 2 bump in the wire method where we have an inspection VM, one or two of them somewhere in the cluster, and we use encapsulation with Geneve to send that traffic that's marked interesting over to that host where the inspection VM is running. Let's take a look at the case of VM A sending traffic to VM B, and then there's a flow network security rule that says A to B must go through this inspection VM for additional inspection. So the first thing that we do is we use Geneve encapsulation to direct that traffic to the inspection VM on the ingress interface. Next, we decapsulate or we process the VM on the firewall and then send it back to the originating host, and then where it decapsulates it. So the firewall VM only sends this traffic back if it passed the inspection criteria. So the firewall VM has an opportunity there to inspect, modify, or block this traffic before sending it back. And now the rest of the forwarding decisions can be made by that host 2, which allows it to send the traffic along to VM B. So what's great about this? You don't need an inspection VM on every host. You could just have one on the cluster, and you can even have high availability, so you could have an active and a backup inspection VM. But this is all using our new network controller-backed VLANs. So you need Prism Central and the network controller, and you need to migrate those VLANs to the network controller. So how does the service insertion VM setup work? So you'll come into Security Policies in Prism Central, and you'll find a new Network Function section. Here, you can pick the ingress and egress NICs for 1 or 2 network function VMs. So you'll go ahead and you'll create the VM and create a new type of NIC on that VM. And then on the next page, you can configure the health check interval for those NICs. Now, you'll also have to go in and configure the partner firewall VM, which is out of scope of this training, but it'll use a dual zone configuration since there's an ingress NIC and an egress NIC. And if you're using 2 firewall VMs, configure high availability in them, since Nutanix is going to just pick one of them to become the active firewall. And then inside that firewall VM, if you want the health check to succeed, you'll have to allow the health check ICMP packet through. Now on the Flow Network Security side, you have to go into a Flow Network Security next-gen rule for VLANs and pick this option to enable a redirect through a network function VM. And then if for some reason that network function VM is not available, that traffic will fail closed. So in this case, traffic from App 1 Category 2 to App 1 Category 1, if for some reason that network function VM was unavailable or offline, that traffic would not succeed. So that's where the VM high availability and the health checks come in for the fail closed operations. So this version compatibility for Flow Network Security Service Insertion in 7.3 requires AOS and PC 7.3 with Flow Network Security 5.2.0, AHV 10.3, and then the network controller, or ANC, has to be upgraded to 6.0.0. And the licensing for this is, since it requires Flow Network Security, is either NCI Ultimate or NCI Pro with the security add-on. And of course requires AHV. Thanks for watching the new stuff on Flow Network Security Service Insertion in NCI 7.3.